everyone to Skincare and Beauty with Perky Perkins, where I do a lot of unboxings, skincare and makeup tutorials, and then I also do product reviews along the way. So today I'm doing a look using my January Boxy Charm base box and Boxy Charm premium items. So if you want to see how I created this look, keep on watching. But before I go any further, please make sure to hit that subscribe button, select all in your notifications, and comment below what has been your favorite item from this month's Boxy Charm. Let's go. So I'm starting off with the MAC Painterly Paint Pot and using it around my eyes because you always want to make sure you have a good base. Next, I'm gonna blend it out and smooth it out with my mini Midori sponge. So now I'm taking my Ace Beauty Scarlet Dust palette and I'm starting off with the shade Lotus to put it all around my crease and basically to kind of set my eye. And I'm going to build it up until I'm happy with the color. Now I'm actually going into Shade. That's the name, you guys. I'm going to use it on the outer corner and I'm going to apply it into my crease so that I can actually build it up and give it more depth to the eye. I did forget to mention that I'm using my Hank & Henry Savvy brush, which is a little bit more dense to give it more of a punch. And I did do kind of that windshield wiper motion right at the crease just so that it makes it more smooth. And now I'm applying it throughout my whole lid since I'm going to use it as my base for my next shade. Now I went back to the original color Lotus with the same brush and I'm just blending out the edges. I'm going to spritz my crease brush and I'm going into the shade Maui and I'm applying it from the inner corner out so that it has like a nice little reflective moment. And I don't like cutting my crease, so that's why I didn't do it this time around. Now I'm going in with Aurora with another crease brush and I'm just continuing to shape the eye until I'm happy with it. Now I will mention is that I did apply a little bit at the very tip so that way I can actually drag it towards the very top to give it a little bit more of a popping contrast. Now I did take a little bit of Aruba with my finger and tapped it in the center. So I'm going to finish my other eye off camera and I'll be right back. And we're done. So now we're going to start with our base and I'm going to use the Touch and Soul Glassy Skin Balm and I'm applying it with the brush. That way it helps blend everything out easier. And typically I've noticed now that it helps fill in pores better. Once I'm done with this, I'm going in with my Versali liquid glass and I'm applying just a little bit throughout my face basically and blending it out once more with the same brush. And you know, I just wanted to test it out. Now I did notice that it helped a little bit with my pores. I'm taking my Hank & Henry large Midori sponge just to make sure everything's set and smooth. Now I'm using my It's Cosmetics Confidence in a Foundation in shade 130 and I did do 2 drops of that liquid glass just to make it a little bit more dewy and I just wanted to see the effect. This is a very full coverage foundation which I really do enjoy. Now to make sure everything's nice and smooth, I'm taking my Midori sponge again and blending everything out just to make sure there's no creasing or anything that could mess up my look basically. Now I'm going in with my Pretty Vulgar concealer in Lily White Lies shade 60. Now this is a gel-like concealer and I'm putting it in my under eye and dragging it down the bridge of sides of my nose, and I am going to put it towards the middle as well. Now as you can tell, it's the same shade as my skin tone or my foundation color basically. So I will be going back with a Catrice to brighten up, but I'm blending everything out with my mini Midori sponge because it's just so nice and precise. It gets into each and every nook and cranny, as you can see. And overall, I really do like this concealer, except you could kind of see in the inner corners where I have my dark spots, it didn't cover as well, which is why I was glad that I had my Catrice in shade 05 to help brighten and cover up a little bit more. I will also mention I did have like 1 or 2 creases, but they actually blended out once I powdered everything. And I am using the Pretty Vulgar, the Powder Room setting powder. I first dusted it with my brush and then I went back with that little Midori sponge just to smooth out those creases that I had gotten. So now I'm going to set the rest of my face with the brush. That way my skin's not too dewy at this time. Next, I'm taking my Wonder Beauty Trip for 2 and I'm taking the shade Costa Ray, and I'm actually using it as contour because it's more of a cool tone for me. And it blended out very nicely. It does build up a bit, but not enough for my preference. But it did give a nice subtle warmth to my skin. Now that I'm done with my nose, I'm blending it out, of course, with the excess powder so that's not so deep. Now I'm taking my Make the Make bronzer and I'm going to deepen up my cheekbones because I actually really love how warm this makes my skin look. And with the mini Midori sponge, I'm just cutting out and baking my jawline basically. Now I'm taking the Too Faced face palette and I'm starting off with Sugared Peach, and I'm using that as my blush. Now I wanted to show you guys how dusty it got in the pan. There is literally blush shimmer everywhere. Now I applied it on my face and on my nose. Now I'm taking off the big because you don't want it too long, and voila. So I'm taking my Gerard Cosmetics Slay All Day in Coconut and I set my skin. Next, I went back to the face palette and I'm using Peach Pearl as my highlight. I did have to work at it a little bit and build it up, and I just applied it on my high points and also my brow bone. So I just wanted to blend out my highlights, so that's why I'm using the sponge. Now I'm going to do my under eyes, and I actually took the crimson shade with a small detail brush because I wanted a little bit more contrast. Then I went back with the same crimson shade and I used this small little detailed blending brush so I can actually have more control and drag it and blend at the same time. Once I'm done with that, I actually took the shade to deepen up the bottom lash line, and again I used that round one, and then I went back with the small shading brush. And as you can tell, I did leave a little bit on the inner corner for my next shade. Now I took a small fluffy blending brush from Luxie to just blend everything out. I spritzed my little brush from earlier, my crease brush, and I'm applying Maui once again on the inner corner. I just wanted to connect that top shade to the bottom lash line. So now that I'm done pretty much blending everything out, I'm taking the LA Girl Neon Vivid Liner for my waterline for a pop of color. So I'm taking the Gerard's Cosmetics lip liner in Sugar and Spice to outline my lips. Don't forget, you guys, you can use my code PerkyPerkins for 30% off. Next, I'm taking my Hank & Henry Comadre lipstick and I'm applying it all around, of course, and then I'm gonna just dab it out with my finger. Now I did accidentally remove a little bit of the liner, so I went back and just touched it up. Now I'm taking my Smashbox Gloss Beachy King. So now that my makeup's done, let's get my hair fixed. And I'm back. So, what do you guys think of my completed look? I have to say, you guys, that the Ace Beauty palette was so good. The colors blended out very easily. The shimmers applied so nicely. I don't even think I really needed much, what is it called? I'm sorry. I don't think I needed to necessarily spritz it with my Slay All Day, but I wanted to have minimal fallout, and that's why I did it. Now, the one thing I did notice with the palette is when you apply it, you don't get much fallout on the pan, but I did when you tip off your brush before you start applying it, because they were kind of dusty on the brush itself. Make sure you tap off any excess material off your brush before going in, otherwise you're gonna have a lot of fallout that you might not be expecting. I did test out today the Versali. It's okay, it's very cute. I mean, it felt very hydrating. I looked very dewy, very glowy. I did mix it also into my foundation. Definitely, you could see that my pores are less pronounced on my look, so I'm pretty glad with that. I'm excited that I got a full bottle because I had previously mentioned that I had the generic version. Flower Beauty makes their own, which was supposed to be a dupe to the unicorn drops. Supernova Celestial Elixir. This is a little bit thicker consistency, but they work very similarly. This is very, very watery, so you want to work fast. Now, I've also seen people where they apply it on top of the foundation. For me, I am not that... I'm not gonna be that risque and do that at this time, especially when it's still a new product for me. Now for the Pretty Vulgar concealer, I do like the concealer. It applied very nicely. I will say, because on the inner corner of my eyes is where I have more darkness, basically like dark spots, it didn't cover as well as I'd hoped. Luckily, because I already knew this was the tone of my skin, it's not lighter, and typically I go a shade or two lighter to brighten the under eyes. I had gone into the inner corner with my Catrice to help with that, but do keep it in mind, you might need to layer this or apply a different primer or corrector before going in with the Pretty Vulgar, but it feels really nice and very hydrating. Little story, you guys, because you know I did not get this palette in my box. I actually was able to trade on a Boxy Charm group on Facebook. Another gal had a similar situation and we connected, and we switched our palettes. She wanted the eyeshadow, I wanted the face palette, and I wanted it because of this shade right here. Now I would like to mention, if you guys could see, there's like tons of fallout. I wasn't even being very hard with my brush. I barely tapped it and there's like residue everywhere, glitter everywhere. So do keep that in mind. It's very, very dusty in the pan. This highlighter shade right here, Peach Pearl, that shade is not as, didn't give me the pop I was looking for. Let's put it that way. I had to really build it up to get to where it's at right now. So it's not gonna be one of my favorite highlights if I have to just keep on layering and layering. I like maybe a 2 swipe motion and I'm done. Other than that, it's a nice little palette. Really excited to try the other shades, because definitely I could have probably used this with my my contouring or bronzing. Now you guys also noticed I have the Wonder Beauty actually Trip for 2, and then I got the lighter shade pan. I love this packaging. It's kind of like that canvas material. So I use Coastal Re to start off my contouring since it's a more cool tone, and then I went over it with my Make the Make bronzer to warm up my cheekbones basically. I did not get this actually from Boxy Charm. It just so happens that I was sent this for review, and Boxy Charm had it in their boxes this month, so I figured let's throw it into the mix since it's part of the featured item. So just in case you're wondering, apply lashes from Coffee Talk Lashes, and this is the style Samantha. In case you guys are wondering, they do faux mink lashes, you guys. And then for my waterline, I actually applied this LA Girl Neon Liner in Vivid. So it gives me that little contrast pop of color. Don't be afraid of color, you guys. Do something on the waterline just for a little pop. It doesn't matter if it's not, you know, part of your eye look. It makes your eyes look a little bit bigger. Now for my lips, I went in with my Gerard's Cosmetics Sugar and Spice lip liner. I then went in with Hank & Henry's Comadre. This is a really good matte liquid lip. And then I topped it off with the gloss today, and I used this Gloss Angel from Smashbox. It's called Peachy Keen. I also have another Peachy Keen from Gerard's Cosmetics, but it's more of a coral tone. And of course, my Slay All Day. I started a new bottle now since I have so many empties. This is coconut and I'm absolutely loving it. I hope you guys enjoyed the makeup tutorial. I always enjoy doing makeup looks with the products I get in my subscription boxes. Now again, this month I did not use the lip products provided to me by Boxy Charm, but I wasn't too fond of them anyways, and I didn't want to waste them just for a look. So that's why I went with my own. But anyways, thank you all so very much for joining me today. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. Please make sure to give me a thumbs up and comment below what has been your favorite item from your Boxy Charm, and also what do you guys think? Do you guys like the new do? Thank you guys so very much, and I will catch you on the next one. Goodbye.